What's going on, y'all? This your boy Atmos Love. So y'all check this out. After very high demand, I've decided after this R. Kelly trial that we are going to cover the Tim Norman murder trial. For those of you that don't know, Tim Norman is the uncle of the nephew that he had killed for a murder to hire plot for insurance money. He pretty much had it going on this show called Sweetie Pies that was played on Oprah's channel. Very successful show. I believe they had 5 seasons. But this man has been brought to justice. I think a lot of people were shocked when they found out that he was actually the one that was behind the murder for hire of his own nephew. And so what we're going to do is we're going to actually dig into, and I purposely did not want to have an opinion, although it's hard not to see what's going on with this trial. I didn't want to build too much of an opinion until I actually saw what the facts in the case were. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down. We're going to do different segments of different videos just for people that don't know anything about this here, just so you can understand exactly what the evidence is against this man, Tim Norman. Okay. So what I wanted to do first of all was I wanted to kind of dig back and look at exactly how the process came together for this man to be, the charges brought against him. So if you would join me right here, we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually read this right here was his motion for pretrial detention hearing. This came out it looks like, let me see. It looks like it was filed on 8/11/2020. It's only a 3-page read, but I like to basically look at the files and look at the actually facts of the case. And so I will do a lot of videos. The trial actually started on today. Today is September the 6th of 2022. So I will also be reading, me and my team will be doing a live reenactment of the transcripts as things unfold. But for those of you who don't know anything about this case, and also to help me further understand the legal portion of this case, I wanted to go back and just read. So this right here is the motion for pretrial detention and hearing. This here is the United States versus James Timothy Norman. So as you can see here, give me one moment here. Let me pull this up so y'all can see it. All right, hold on. Okay, there we go. So I can stroll up and down. Awesome. There we go. So let's read this here, y'all. So it says here, this is a motion for pretrial detention and hearing. Comes now the United States of America by and through its attorneys, Jeffrey B. Jensen, United States Attorney for the Eastern District of Missouri, and Angie E. Dennis and Gwendolyn E. Carroll, Assistant United States Attorneys for said district, and move this court to order the defendant detained pending trial, and further request that a detention hearing be held at the time that the defendant's initial appearance before the United States Magistrate Judge pursuant to Title 18, United States Code Section 3141, per current guidance from the court. As far as its grounds for detention, the government requests this court to consider the following factors pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 3142. Presumption of detention. Number 1, the defendant is charged with conspiracy to commit murder for hire, resulting in death in violation of Title 18 United States Code Section 1958. This is an offense for which the statutorily mandated punishment is either life imprisonment or the death penalty. So as y'all can see, he is facing either life imprisonment or the death penalty for this murder for hire, this conspiracy to commit murder for hire, giving rise to a rebuttable presumption of detention pursuant to Title 18, United States Code, Section 3142. The nature and circumstances of the offense. Title 18, United States Code, Section 3142G, requires this court to consider the nature and characteristics of the offense charged, including whether the offense is controlled substance offense or crime of violence. So they're trying to see if this was something that was charged, including whether the offense is a controlled substance offense, maybe he was on some type of drugs, or a crime of violence. The defendant is charged with using facilities of interstate commerce to commit a murder in exchange for a monetary reward, and in this case, the murder actually occurred. As a result, the first of the 3142G factors weighs in favor of detention. The court should also consider that the victim, in this case, was the defendant's 21-year-old nephew, for whom the defendant had obtained and attempted to obtain multiple fraudulent life insurance policies despite having no financial dependence or relationship. Furthermore, this was a crime that involved substantial calculation and planning. The defendant and his accomplice obtained burner cellular telephones for the purpose of attempting to thwart law enforcement detection. Substantial steps were taken to determine where the victim would be and to lure him outside of the residence. So they really did plot, plan, and execute this murder. It looks like they used burner phones so that they could say that it was premeditated, that they were trying to do something and get away with it, which locks into the conspiracy. The defendant traveled from California to St. Louis for less than 24 hours for the purpose of orchestrating the murder of his own nephew for his own financial gain. All of these factors highlight the dangerousness of the defendant to the community. Weight of the evidence against the defendant. Number 3, Section 3142G requires this court to consider the weight of the evidence against the defendant. The government submits that the evidence against the defendant is strong and relies on the facts and articulated in the complaint affidavit in reliance on same. Number 4, the history and characteristics of the defendant. In 1997, the defendant was charged with robbery in the first degree and armed criminal action, to which he pled guilty and was sentenced to 12 years confinement in Missouri Department of Corrections. The nature of the seriousness of the danger to the community. Number 5, the defendant conspired with others to arrange the murder of his 21-year-old nephew. Once assured his plan had succeeded, he traveled back to his home in California. The safety of the community would be at risk, and the defendant, if the defendant safety of the community would be at risk were the defendant to be released on bond. Risk of flight. There is serious risk of flight that the defendant will flee because he is facing a significant sentence in this case. Based on the severity of the charges and his alleged role in the offense, the government is aware that the defendant does possess a passport and has traveled to Mexico on at least 4 separate occasions since the murder of his nephew. While the defendant does have significant familial ties to the St. Louis area, since the homicide, he has maintained homes in Los Angeles, California, Houston, Texas, and Jackson, Mississippi, given that the defendant has access to significant assets, be them his own or those of his family. He has the resources and means to flee the jurisdiction. Conclusion. The government submits that when considering all of the factors outlined in the Title 18 United States Code 3142, the factors weigh heavily in favor of detention. There is clear and convincing evidence that no condition or combination of conditions will reasonably assure the safety of any other person and the community, as well as the appearance of the defendant. Respectfully submitted, Jeffrey B. Jensen, who is the United States Attorney. Also, Angie E. Dennis, who is also another attorney, and Gwendolyn E. Carroll. So as y'all can see here very clearly that they definitely wanted to get him up off the streets because they feel like he was a danger to the community, and they have their reasons why. So we're going to do temporary videos like this where y'all can kind of just understand the legal aspects of exactly what evidence they have against Tim Norman in this murder for hire against his nephew. Once again, my name is Atmos Love. Be sure to like the channel, subscribe. When you hit that notification bell, push all, because every time I do a recording, it'll give you a notification where you can come and actually watch the video. We will also start doing the lives very soon to where we will start reading, and I have an amazing team of readers, y'all. If you look at my playlist on my channel and look at how we've covered the R. Kelly, especially the Chicago case, the NDIL Chicago case, you'll see exactly what we do and how we do it on this channel, okay? But listen, God bless you all. Have a great day, and God bless the family of the Normans. Okay, talk to y'all later. Peace out.